Happy Friday and welcome to the weekly recap. This is episode 116, I think. And
It
I
is.
I am joined by the co-conspirator, organizer, everythinger, Madalena. How are you doing today?
A nice introduction, Rick. Thank you.
A
I
little
am
tongue
doing
tied.
I am doing well, busy as you know me. Probably not as busy as you. But because like I know I'm trying to find some space in your calendar, and sometimes it takes me some time to find some like some availability in there. But like I'm really happy to see that some things that we have been working on are coming together, and like it makes some space for new projects. And yeah, today I'm really happy to have so much great content in the community to share. But tell me, how have you been? I can see you are in the office second week in a row. What's
Yeah, I
happening?
I only have two trips this week, which is rare, or this month, which is rare, and then only one trip next month. But I don't know. I'm really struggling. I think you're busier than me, Maddie. You have a whole bunch of little things going on. I just came off of one really big thing. Okay. So it's just a different type of busy, right? I get swamped with the one big busy. Now I'm going to flip over and start working almost exclusively on Veeam, which will be something we'll talk about today. But
Yes.
community and product teams, we are. I always say busy. I need a new word. We need like a level, like busy level 7,
It's
or
a plus. Yeah, we have to add
yeah,
a plus in there.
yeah, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. But no, and Maddie picked out a great week of content, a good roundup here. And of course, the rule is broken because not just we like breaking the rule, but there's actually a lot of really good stuff. So you ready to jump into it, Maddie?
Yeah, let's go for it, Rick.
All right. Okay. First up is Joe with uh, a lot of cybersecurity space today, but OneNote's taking a big update to address that post. He did that maybe 2 weeks ago. We featured this, or maybe 1 week ago. But this is nice, right?
Yes, absolutely. So he posted some information regarding how Microsoft OneNote files are used to distribute emoted malware. That was a couple of weeks ago. He's actually featuring it in this post. And now he gets back with an update, and this update reflects that Microsoft decided to block embedded files that have dangerous extensions in OneNote. And basically, if you need now to open the embedded file, you will actually have to save the file to your local device and then open the file from there. But like my advice, and I feel like Johan advice and probably your advice would be the same, do that only if you trust the source, because Microsoft doesn't take the responsibility on that. So it can actually be tricky.
Well, the other thing I would add is hopefully we're doing a backup of the endpoints and of the data we care about. And at least when you think about some of these services like OneNote and others, then we think about, I look at data sources like OneDrive for business in particular, and that data source, that could be nasty to fix. So that's why one of the reasons why we recommend taking a backup of Microsoft 365, the endpoints. And actually, for everyone on this stream, if you didn't know, you can go and get the free Veeam agent for your Windows PC and just put it on a USB drive like I'm doing right here. Or you can also go to the Veeam backup for Microsoft 365 Community Edition and backup 10 OneDrive accounts, right? So, just think about the protection in that space as well. But Joe, definitely thank you for sharing that update from Microsoft.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe.
And another cybersecurity space comes from Edwin Viperian in our team. And I really like this top 10 questions and things about hacking. This is pretty cool. A nice little story here.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed reading this one. Thank you, Edwin. Too bad, like employees, while I was reading it, I was like thinking, too bad that employees cannot participate in the Blogger of the Month competition, because this would be one of my choices, like for next month. But what can we do? But like as a data protection company, of course, I'm going to go to the question, how can organizations protect themselves from hackers, that he's sharing in here, right? And he's giving us like some ideas of how we could protect ourselves. But I would like to ask you, from the perspective of a person that worked over 13 years in this space, like data protection, what would be best practices from your point of view? And what should companies, but like not companies only, but also like right individuals do to keep safe? And also with these questions, I would like to go further. And what is the role of the backup and prevention in all this? And I feel you're going to tell me something about the rule 32110, and you're going to tell me something about zero, that zero in there. Are you?
Well, I'm going to give you three things, but they're not the 3-2-1 rule.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
So I really like this article from Edwin. And the first point I'm going to do to answer your question, Maddie, is kind of give you this view of ask yourself what could go wrong. Okay, now that is an open-ended question. And what I mean by that is you have to, first of all, know what you have. Okay, so then the second point is ask yourself, if you were the threat actor and you wanted to hack and you wanted to destroy, or you wanted to put up a ransom and things like that, what would you do, knowing what you know about question number one, right? What could go wrong? So it almost implies that what you know what you have. And then number two, if you were the threat actor, turn it around. I got to be careful because I get myself in trouble. A lot of times for people on my team, I will kind of challenge the idea and pretend to be the bad guy and go into things of like, I don't want to say I'm hacking, but like I'll run some tools and get some information, and then IT will block it and I'll do it another way, right? I get just thinking like that, right? What would you do if you were the bad guy? So ask that question. And then number three is ask yourself, and then these are really just three questions, what could go wrong? What would you do if you were the threat actor? And then number three, how would you handle either of those two things? Okay. And I like those three questions, and I just made that up on the fly with your question here, Maddie. It's not like I've got a blog about this anywhere. But my thought here is that no matter what we've done, if we're all cloud, if we're on-prem, if we're old apps, modern apps, Kubernetes, virtual machines, file storage, home lab, you name it, the reality is if you kind of take that approach, you'll be able to assess the risk and really get it under control. So that's my answer.
Okay, thank you. I would have expected something more like, but this is, I feel like this is a bit more different than what I expected. I really expected you to go more into the rule, into more standard answers.
Well, number one would hit the 3-2-1 rule, asking yourself what could go wrong. Well, it could break. I better have a backup, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm the threat actor, the backup better be immutable, right? And then what do I do if it goes wrong? Well, I better be able to restore. So it kind of aligns, but I just ask myself those three questions without getting too specific. Oh, man, you get me with these early questions. Heavy, Maddie.
Okay, but I see. You try to make it a bit more interesting than just be like, okay, this is the rule. This is what you should do, with the standard answer. So yeah, I feel like it's even better.
Yeah, I want to get people thinking that way. And then the specifics will come up is my logic. But great post, Edwin. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, we were talking about this a second ago. Packer programmer, I wonder if they're from Wisconsin, asks about this very situation of migrating up. In fact, Packer programmer, I have this very situation at home that I owe myself a blog or whatever. Before we go into the comments and talk more about this was awesome. This is a great scenario that Packer programmer has shared.
Yeah, I have to really appreciate for a second the nickname. I feel like it was highlighted in Who's New as I said it. So
yeah,
good job with that. But yeah, he's basically on Packer programmer is on a V11 on server 2012, RD and SQL server 2008, and he's trying to upgrade it to V12, but he has an issue. Of course, V12 does not support 2008 version of SQL server in here. So he comes up with two options that he's thinking to go with, but then the community gives him even a better answer in there. If you look in there, there is a better solution for it, to just install the Veeam version on the new server, then upgrade instead of just installing V12 on the new server first. So I think that could be easier. What do you think? How are you going to go about it? Because you said you have to do it.
Yeah, so I do like this option where, yeah, here it is. You know, the idea, install 11, config backup, right? Install V11 again on the new target, on the new OS, do the config backup and then upgrade. That's what I'm probably going to do at home. But I also want to have a different point of view for everyone out here that may be in this situation. And this, I'm going to put this in the upgrade center too. Should probably actually link to this thread. The caution I have with, I take my home lab, which if I'm looking at Packer programmers environment, it's probably about the same age. I first deployed that on Veeam Backup and Replication version 7. Okay, so if you're thinking Windows Server 2012, that SQL 2008, that's where I was. It might even be version 6, 5, something like that. My concern, Packer Programmer and some of the others, is how much of that config is actually what you need. Now, you can always import backups. That doesn't matter. Don't forget about that. But if I look at my, I say home lab, but it's really kind of my production stuff. I mean, I got 3 virtual machines I care about at home. That's it. But if I look at that environment, and if this is a work environment, I can 100% guarantee there's so many things that have come and go over the years that I really don't care about anymore. Now, I do have a lot of PCs backed up under management by Veeam Backup and Replication. Every computer in the house, every Surface and the Windows laptops are being backed up, right? So my advice to others is this the right time to housekeep? Ask yourself that question. You can always import backups, but do you really need to take the whole configuration? This might force you to redo some passwords, reset some passwords, reassess some security or backup targets, things like that. So that's the only caution I would add to this point, you know, because I'm going through this at home, and that's why I haven't put it in the upgrade center, because I'm not sure yet, you know, what I'm going to do. But this is good stuff. Thank you for sharing, and Michael, Paul, and Derek, and Chris, and Maurice, and thank you all, and Shane, for all these responses. I think this is great. I really like this other idea of go to 11, upgrade, and then config, you know, from 11 and then do the upgrade. So there's a lot of ways you could go about it, but keep in mind, it might be the right time to house clean up, housekeep, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but anyway, great discussion. Thank you, guys.
And it's tough. And that's why, you know, this is the second topic on it that Packer programmers brought up, because there's a lot of things you got to think about, right? And such. So is that 3 were the rules broken on this next one, or was that 4? I can't remember.
No, Eric's one is the 4th, so we are breaking the rule now.
Okay. Double E is in the house. This might be the first time we've called Eric on the show.
That's correct.
Uh-oh, that's not supposed to be ringing right now, so I'm sorry about that. You know, the enterprise thing to do is to use your silence of your device. I don't know why that was the case. And what was really scary about that was that it said it was me that was calling, which was very odd. I don't remember that. So, you know, it's not a best practice to do that when you're on a recording. But let's talk about managing S3 credentials with Terraform with Eric. What caught your eye on this one?
So basically, what is Eric doing in here? He's talking about the challenge of rotating credentials regularly, because that comes with updating all your downstream applications and services that use those credentials, right? So Eric says that it is important to have a change process or solution in place that tracks where those credentials are used, otherwise could result in broken applications or outages. So the question is that he's asking is how one can use Veeam and Terraform together to make rotating the credentials in both AWS and Veeam as easy as running like one command. And then this is very interesting. It seems like you can just use a certain REST API provider that allow Terraform to interact with various platforms. And of course, Eric goes through a lot of details, and there he shares a lot of useful links. He's giving us the code. If you just go to his GitHub, you can just get the code from there. But yeah, I feel like this can be like a very easy solution. It can sort out so many problems with just like a code. So
yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, this is outstanding. Eric, if I think about this, this is really deep because actually we did some lab work here and we moved to a new environment. And actually I took my entire AWS account. I just closed the whole thing because I knew, I'm going to make a new one, but I knew there were some so obsolete credentials and things like that. I probably had that account for 16 years.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was even before Veeam that I had that. And so I know that I had some very bad security practices going on. So that is a really good idea to automate this. So this is outstanding, Eric. Thank you so much. And you even got the attention of a couple other product management. He might be your boss, so I don't know if that's just him being nice. I can't remember if Dustin is Eric's boss. Yeah, this is great stuff. I'm just going to just be going like. That's good stuff. Hey, thank you for sharing, Eric. Please do more stuff like this. This is really, really cool.
Absolutely. But Rick, if you're going to try it, because I feel like you're going to try it, right?
I'm not really good at automation.
Okay.
I'm not good, but
you have the code and everything in there. It shouldn't be that difficult, right?
Maybe I'll like just watch Michael Cade do a demo of it. How about that? That might be easy.
Okay. We can do that, maybe. Because I was thinking maybe you can just give your impressions if you do it.
You know, that's a good point. If I think about what I need to do better, I do need to learn a little bit more automation. So good point. Ooh. Anyways, thank you for sharing, Eric. That is an outstanding post. Like I said, please do more of it. So now let's go over to special department news. And I don't even know what to say about this. You're going to want to watch it with volume on, but what in the heck is this, Maddie?
Well, let's talk Veeam on, right? That's what Jeff is saying in there. He's just getting more creative every day, and I absolutely love these lyrics. My favorite ones in there are, leave your boss with no doubt, because you will gain the expert's clout and your company's profits will mount. How cool is that? I mean, only Jeff, right? And then turn up the volume and shout, because at Veeam on your knowledge will sprout. That's like so creative.
Is it a poem? Is it a rap? Is it a song? Who knows? But it's Jeff and the cat. Did you see the cat? The cat dashed. Pablo. Is that the Nacho?
I can't remember.
What's the cat's name?
I can't remember the name, but Jeff can comment it in
Pedro.
there.
Nacho. I think it's Nacho.
I don't think it's Nacho, but let's see. I'm sure Jeff is going to let us know.
I thought I saw a cat. Did I see a cat or was it a ghost? But I can't remember. Pedro, Nacho, Alfredo.
He's actually including Alfred in this poem.
I saw that.
Well.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I'm going to catch that cat. I swear I saw a cat in there, but maybe it was just a dream. I don't know. I gotta see if I can catch that cat, because this isn't a long song. You got to be paying attention. There's a cat.
There you go.
Hold on, let's get that cat. Hold on. You know, it's funny. My wife has 3 cats. You'd think I would like cats, but there's actually more to that. But I don't. But I like. There we go. We got a cat. I think it's Pedro or something right there. Cat is spotted. But no, Jeff, this is. I'm going to send this to the event team management. I just love your fun creativity. So that is awesome. We need
Yeah.
a new badge, like dropping a rap song or something, you know.
I think we just need like a badge with Jeff's name, like Jeff's badge.
Yeah. Jeff, I needed a good chuckle here. So everybody give that a look with sound on. You'll enjoy Jeff. That I love you, man. Anyways, next up, Chris is talking about Veeam on and a little bit different style, and I appreciate that, Chris. But what's going on here?
Yeah, so he's also sharing some previous experience attending a VMon. And I really like the last bit of it, like the last paragraph. If you go there, he kind of shows a genuine gratitude, on being part of the Veeam 100 program, on being part of Veeam, and like the fact that Veeam is sending all our legends and vanguards to Veeam on Miami this year at no cost for them, for the legends and vanguards. So really thank you for all that great share and genuine words, Chris. I feel like this is a very good share.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate that, Chris, as well as the view of some of the content. So it's great, great, great. Thank you so much. Give you a like for that. And now, two regional events that we want to highlight. Might be the first time we've ever promoted anything in Finland, but there's going to be a user group going on in Tampere, Finland. And apologize if I'm pronouncing the city wrong right there, but no, it's an in-person event. It goes over to the Eventbrite page, and that'll be cool, taking it to Finland.
Yes, absolutely. And Miko and Phil are going to be the hosts. They are the two VUG leaders. So if you have any questions regarding this event, please reach out to them. They are available at the VUG Finland in the community hub. So just go ahead and ask them all the questions you might have regarding this event. If it happens for you to be in Tampere, I hope that's the pronunciation, just go join them. I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy to have you.
Yeah, and I am pretty sure that is one of our partners, our Veeam partners in region, as my guess, but I'm not sure. But no, thank you, Miko and Petri, for getting this organized, and happy to feature it here on the recap. All right. Also in Europe, we're going to talk about an Italian online event, the hardening guide, the definitive guide. I know enough Italian to translate that. And we've got Marco and Antonio and the other Marco going to rock this out. Looks like it's on Friday 21st, so next week that's going to be out. That's going to be cool. I think, especially given in Italian, so many of these things are in English. Nothing wrong with English, but when you go into some of these, we have the same problem in Asia, right? Where we need local resources, local experts, and happy to have this come up in Italy. This is great.
Yes, absolutely. So I feel like Marco Fabri is going to use, if you remember, like a couple of weeks ago, we had like a really good article from Marco regarding hardening. I feel like that's the base of this discussion. So I think that's going to be amazing event. So I'm really looking forward. I can understand a bit of Italian, so I'm going to be there just to support and trying to understand it.
I'm going to be a little silly here, but I will say, for Marco Fabri, I tell you, the kid, this individual, he looks younger than this picture. When I met him for the first time, I'm like, it's like sometimes people are much younger in their photo than they are in real life, but he, in real life, just looks a little bit younger, but don't hold that against him. So he's super sharp in the cybersecurity space. So Marco and Antonio, have a great event. Thank you for doing this. And Maddie will be there, and we'll probably then have the replay that we'll put up forever on as well. So
Absolutely,
good stuff.
yes.
Outstanding. All right. So now we should just call this the Sophia show for this part. We're going to go into who's new. And a big thanks again to Sophia, who was delivering a presentation this week out in Seattle. So hopefully that went well for her. She's traveling back this morning during our recording. But let's talk about who's new. We are plus 60 Alfred has spotted these 60 people rocking in to the community. And if I look at, the cool usernames, one thing I got to say, now that I just had her do it, she's picking the cool usernames, right? And maybe you and her together, but I'm getting some, not quite Momo, but I'm getting some FOMO on the picking of the cool usernames, right? So that Momo is cool.
I feel like cool. It's actually like a surprise for us, It's just like opening the file and be like, oh, let's see. What are the cool names?
I like Momo. I like Scarsick. Yeah. I like that. Bee, Bumblebee. You know who likes bees is Kirsten. Kirsten likes bees.
Oh,
yeah, that's her logo. I mean, everybody's got a thing. I mean, Rin Bites has a logo. I have Rickatron. Emily's got Veeam Vino. Kirsten stings like a bee. She's got a little bee. But anyways, these are our 60 new users and the coolest usernames for the week. Let's see if I was anywhere close in any of these. Oh, B made the cut. Digital Pulley, Quiet Foo, I like that. Logic Paul, Momo, we got Momo represented, and Free Doog, or Fred Doog, or I'm thinking Free Dog, but it's Free
Dog, yeah.
Fredoog. Fredoog, I don't know, but I like it. It made the list. And we have Alfred's pick, the coolest of cool for the week is cha cha cha. Cha cha is
cha. That's cool.
Yeah, we could have just went 3 chas, but cha cha is only a 2 cha. Either way, it's Alfred's pick for the week. So welcome everyone. I hope everybody understands. We have some fun with the who's new. I think it's just it's actually interesting when you see people join. The main reason we go through it, first of all, is we want to profile our employees so they can have some additional experiences on the community hub. And then secondly, I'm always interested. Remember you did that one thing in Turkey and then a bunch of people from Turkey started showing up, and we just see geographically from like email domains when things happen. So it's just interesting when you see it, and then you chuckle, or I cha-cha at a new username, and we will just note it, and that's where it came from. So there's nothing to it, but we really enjoy it.
When they create content, you remember, right? Like today for the back programmer, right? And you are like, oh, I remember this name, So yeah, that's cool as well.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about the phone ringing, Maddie. That's not cool. I was running around late this morning, but I didn't get to mute my phone. But thank you so much for curating all the content today.
Absolutely, Rick. My pleasure as always.
Well, we got to find a new time for next week because I have a trip. I might be able to do it. I'm going to be in Canada next week. We'll see. But
too far away. You are good.
We'll see. Yeah. It's also 1 time hour change, so I got to figure it out. But anyways, thanks again, Maddie. Thank you, Sophia. I'm pointing over to your desk when you get back there tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great weekend. We'll see you on 117 next week.